Giving our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yehoshai, Bahashem, Harakah, Quadash. Double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. And salutes to all 144,000 elect out there. We are coming back at you with another lesson. Gonna get into some of these quotes here. Some of these famous quotes from so-called founding fathers and statesmen of this world. So this is Thomas Jefferson's quote here. It says, "Indeed, I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just and that his justice cannot sleep forever." And when you look him up, this was a former slave master. You know, as an Edom, Aduam, right? An Edomite, a wicked slave master, former slave master. Probably started to get nightmares before he was deleted in his old age, however he died. So he came up with this quote here, and we got another one here. And yeah, I got these quotes. Well, this one here, I got it from let me read it. It says, "But suppose God is black. What if we go to heaven and we all our lives have treated the Negroes as an inferior God? Is there, and we look up and he is not white? What then is our response?" Let me read that again. "But suppose God is black. What if we go to heaven and we all our lives have treated the Negroes as an inferior," right? Because I was watching the Big Brothers from the Central Camp going in, and this is what they brought this one out. And I'm into quotes. You know, I'm into some of these so-called old time quotes and words of wisdoms and whatever the case may be. But I ain't heard this one before, so I said, all right, let's do a video on this. I'm going to hit the precepts as well, right? Because this is a good one. This is really this is one of them. This is good because these let me read. "But suppose God is black. What if we go to heaven?" You got, I was laughing, man. Right? This is the spirit of the Lord is moving, man. The spirit of the Lord was always moving anyway. To and fro from the time going back all the way to Genesis, the spirit of the Lord was always moving, right? And it's affecting these devils. And we all our lives have treated the Negro as an inferior, and God is there, and God is there in heaven when they believe how they believe heaven is, right? How they believe heaven is, and we look up and he is not white. What then is our response? Again, I believe these mans were getting traumatized by dreams and visions, because we know that he can do that. He can send your greatest fears upon you. He did that to the ancient Egyptians, right? And send their fears upon them, right? That's Isaiah. As a matter of fact, let me get that. Let me hit the scripture, and then we're gonna get into some of these. We're gonna look up this dude here, right? For those maybe some don't know who this dude was. I think it's Isaiah. Scripture just came to me. Isaiah 66. Isaiah 66. And forces. "I also will choose their delusions, and I will bring their fears upon them, because when I called, none did answer. When I spoke, they did not hear, but they did evil before mine eyes, and chose that which I delighted not." All right, talking about this goes back to the ancient Egyptians and the wicked around people as well. You can apply that to them too. But you know, Mosai sent strong delusions against the wicked, strong their own delusions against them, and that's also in Thessalonians too. So he was probably getting terrorized, you know, before any of these people that are propped up as a matter of fact, let's look him up as who was he? Any of these people that believe they want that kind of power are really in the hands of the Lord. That kind of power as a JFK, Who was he? Well, I just tapped that in Google. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, often referred to as JFK, was an American politician who served as the 35th president on the United States from 1961 until his assassination, right? So when you see these so-called conspiracy theories, or you hear these so-called conspiracy theories, it happened, and that was broadcast. That happened on live television. All you got to do is just do research on it, because he was speaking out too much, right? He was assassinated in 1963. He was the youngest person elected president. A little bit more. John F. Kennedy was the 35th president of the United States, 1961. The youngest man elected to office on November 2022. November 22, 1963, when he was hardly past his first 1,000 days in the office. JF Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas. This is what I wanted. This is where it happened, in Dallas, Texas, becoming also the youngest president to be deleted. So yeah, I wanted to look at that quote. That was a quote from him, because you don't like to hear it from Jake. You we call you rednecks, especially you rednecks, you common everyday KKK people. A lot of you KKK people that hate so-called black people, you don't want to hear it from us. So hear it from one of your former presidents, yeah. But suppose God is black, right? You don't want to hear it from us. You got all these scoffers out there trying to come against us. Suppose he is. That's ask yourself that question. Yeah, the question mark on the end of that, right? What if we go to heaven and we all our lives have treated the Negro as an inferior? Yeah, what if? Right, and every one of us brothers, whether you be of the 144,000 or you be of the great crowd, you're gonna get justice. And even the 2/3 ninjas that are gonna be back here in their right mind, you're gonna get justice for the way you've been treated. We all gonna get justice, and one of the big brothers was going into that. There will be a day, a recompense, when the people of God, and that includes the 2/3 once again, will get justice, will see justice in the earth. Have treated the Negro as an inferior, and God is there, and we look up, because that's actually going to happen anyway. He's spot on that, because God is up there, and he is a black man according to the scriptures, right? Revelation chapters 1 and 13, Daniel's chapters 10 goes into that as well. Read it for yourself. That's been one of the first scriptures that when we came up, what you've been hearing by our founding fathers, our pioneers, yeah, High Priest Yaquab, King Marsha, right, Rabbi Abba Bibbins, and High Priest Arya, right? Been going into that scripture, Revelations chapters 1 and 13, right? Harry is a black man, right? Read it for yourself, right? We're going to hit some precepts, but read that, and also read Daniel. Yeah, for some of you new ones, but even the so-called white people, you know that scripture very well, right? You've had to take your time and go back and scratch it and look at it again, and realize, yeah, yeah, because something that your founding father says, as an inferior, what he be treating us as the inferior, and God is there, and he looked up, and he is known, not white. What then is our response? Man, I could just read that because we don't have to do much. When you get quotes like that, you let that do the talking, right? Don't take it from us. Take it from your founding fathers. That's gonna be probably the title of this video. Don't take it from me. Take it from your founding father. Indeed, I tremble once again. I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just, and that his justice cannot sleep forever. And that's absolutely true. Galatians chapter 6 and 7. Whatsoever a man soweth, that he should also reap. Because even you say that saying, right? What goes around comes around. Even you white people have that saying, and we don't believe in it. We don't ascribe to karma, but the scriptures does back that up. Galatians 6 and 7, right? Karma, what you Catholics say, but the scriptures says, "Whatsoever a man soweth, that he shall also reap." I looked at who J.F. Kennedy was. He was a president, one of the youngest. He elected to office on November 22, 1963, and he was assassinated. That's what happened to him. When was he assassinated? Assassination in 1963. He didn't last very long. Didn't last very long. President of the United States from 1961 until his assassination in 1963. Didn't last very long. Not even 2 years. Right? Roughly around 2 years. He was the youngest person elected to presidency. Yeah. So I want to do some research on this dude here. Like I say, I was watching our Big Brothers, and they made mention of quotes. This quote and quotes. I like to get into quotes from time to time. A picture does paint 1,000 words. Thomas Jefferson's quote. We looked at that. When I reflect that God is just. Let me read it again. I'll come back. Indeed, I tremble for my country, right? Because he was known for a lot of things, and a lot of things he was known for, as far as having slaves. I've done a video on that too, treating them badly, and younger girls as well, treating them very badly, as they all do. And it's gonna come around to bite you. Justice is best served cold. I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just, that his justice cannot sleep forever. Founding father, once again, I wanna, right? So he's your founding. Don't take it from me, right? Don't take it from the ninjas, what you people love to hate. Thomas Jefferson is considered a founding father because of his role in writing the Declaration of Independence as a member of the. See, I've done research on this before. Do I really need to go in again? I could do a future video on him, but he wasn't about no independence. He wasn't for freedom. He had slaves. That was a front, right? That was all a front. The founding father of the United States, often simply referred to as the founding father, he was a group of late century American revolutionary leaders who united the 13 colonies. Let's get into it. Just quickly, a little brief bit. I've done a video on it in the past. It's a little bit more Abaratazar. I don't want to get too into it, but he was the founding father of the United States, often simply referred to as the founding father, who are the group of late century American revolutionary leaders who united the 13 colonies, oversaw the War of Independence from Great Britain, established the United States in America, and crafted a framework of government for the new nation. And I've done history. I've done a little bit of history on this dude before. As a matter of fact, let me see. Let me find out. I don't do too much digging. Thomas Jefferson, right? Thomas Jefferson. Did Alright, don't go slow on me now. Did Thomas it's playing up. Did it's playing up, man. Satan. We're gonna get it together. Did Thomas Jefferson? I'm just gonna find out if I can find out something. If not, I'll just carry on. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Let's see something. Did Thomas wonder why he's acting like that all right now. And it has to happen when you're doing the video. Well, you know that you know what's going on. It's saying, isn't it? Having a mind of its own. Own slaves. Yeah, that's all I wanted. Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, owned more than 600 slaves during his adult life. Jefferson freed 2 slaves while he lived, and 5 others uh, were freed after his death, including 2 of his children from his relationships with his slaves and sister. And yeah, I want to throw that one in. But he wasn't no revolutionary. He wasn't no father of independence. Which president had a black wife? So there's more information you can get at least known American women in the unit history of the more than known name was right Thomas Jefferson and his concubine, occurring facts of her life and her identity. He had concubines as well. So that's it. He wasn't no freedom fighter or what they call here Declaration as a Liberty of Congress. Thomas Jefferson. This is the university of his project at Declaration of Independence as a member of. We just found out he had over 600 slaves. So enough said on that. We just found that out with the power and spirit of the Most High. Thomas Jefferson. You know what there is? Reflect that God is just and that his justice cannot sleep forever. You got Thomas Jefferson never fought as a soldier, however, he fought out there. There is owned more than 600 slaves during his adult life. I don't need no more than that. But he was probably getting in his old age. As they get older, the Most High starts to throw them delusions on them, their fears upon them. You want to stand up because the scripture says that they are the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. They're controlled by him. They're just his puppets. So he's getting strong delusions. Also, JF Kennedy as well, getting them strong delusions upon them before they got deleted. Before he was assassinated, he probably sensed it, but he was too outspoken as far as being juiced in was concerned, and they wanted to knock him off. All right, President 1961 to 1963 was assassinated. That's it, man. Right, but suppose I've read it so many times. Obviously, that's a beautiful right. That's let me hit the scriptures. Right, Most High sending strong delusions upon them. Point made, man. Point made. Let's hit this one. Then we gonna end it off. Psalm 64 and 8 says, "So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away." There you have it, Akim. All right, your founding fathers, your statesmen, your former presidents have made their confession. Their tongue is fallen upon themselves. Don't take it from us, all right? So-called, which we're not black Hebrew Israelites, but don't take it from us. Take it from your founding fathers. Suppose he's a black. Suppose God is black. Their tongue is fallen upon themselves. Another one. We got more scriptures for you here. Daniel 2 and 28 says, "But there is a God in heaven." Most definitely. You're right about that. There is a God in heaven that revealeth secrets and maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar. The prophet Daniel was giving his interpretation of that dream, and he was letting him know that there was somebody far superior than he was, right? And he lives. When you read the whole of the book of Daniel, chapters 2, the whole of the book is actually beautiful, beautiful book anyway. The life and times of Daniel, right? And maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days, thy dream and thy vision of thy head upon thy bed as thee. But the point is there is a God in the heavens, man, the revealer of secrets. And you're going to know, which now you do know, J.F. Kennedy, former president. Now you do know, yes, you was right to be in fear of the Most High. The Most High put that upon you. He put the spirit to make you make that confession. You was being traumatized. The delusions were upon you. Last one, Ecclesiastes chapters 12 and 13 says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments. Right, man? This is to Yahshua Allah, the 144,000, the multitude, and also even the 2/3 are going to come back in your right mind. We're going to have fear as we're supposed to. Keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God shall bring every work unto judgment with every sacred thing, whether it be good or whether it be bad. All right, man. That's it, because he's bringing everything under the judgment of the Lord. Every sacred thing, whether it be good or bad. And the point is, what he's going to do here, he's going to let you know. As it says, as Ezekiel said, then they will know. Right, the Most High, and then they will also know that a prophet had been among them. But you don't gotta take it from us. You can take it from your founding fathers, right? Making their own tongues to fall upon themselves. You don't want to hear it from us? Take it from the founding fathers. That's the point, right? So yeah, you look up the scriptures, right? It goes into it in Revelation chapters 1, right? How his head was like a hair. As a matter of fact, let me read that and we're gonna end it off. Revelation chapters 1, just to back up the point, and 13 says, and in the midst of the 7 candles, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with the garment down to his foot, and gird upon the paps with a golden candle. His head and his hair were white like wool. Right? That's as you look at Jake, we see we got woolly hair. So-called black men have woolly hair, right? Very, very curly. And some of you call it nappy, but it's actually the scriptures call it woolly. His head and his hair were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. He drank wine, and his also the eyes, this symbolizing his fury when he's going to return, right? And his feet were like fine brass, right? When you know what, if you know what brass looks like, a brass coin. And you get that brass coin as if they burn in a furnace. When you burn it, right, what happens when you burn it? As if it burned in a furnace. And his voice as the sound of many waters. So the scriptures, let the scriptures speak, but you don't want to take it from us. You may not even want to hear it from the scriptures. Take it from your founding fathers, but the scriptures done back that up. And also you can read Daniel's chapters 10 and 5. It makes a very similar point to Revelation chapters 1 and 13. So I'll say once again, the Wada Yahweh Ba'ashim Yoshai put spirit on me to do this video. Alright? Be in fear. You should be in fear. Be afraid, as the movie Star Wars, as Yoda said to Luke Skywalker, be afraid. He said, I'm not afraid. But Yoda said to him, be afraid. Be very afraid. You will be. He said, you will be. You will be. Now you know. And now you know. Now you know. You've seen it for yourself up there in the heavens. Partly right, but you spot on. He said, but suppose God is black. What if we go to heaven and we all our lives have treated the Negro as an inferior, and God is there, and we look up and he is not whites, what then is our response? You're gonna find out when you get in slavery, when you get shackled up, when you come back down to serve your sentence, your to serve out your compensation to the so-called black man, which we're not black, but you're gonna serve out your time, both of you, the former founding fathers, you're both gonna serve out your time. Indeed, I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just, that his justice cannot sleep forever. And you're spot on about that, Galatians 6 and 7. So, Shalom, the Wada Yoba Shimishah, put the spirit on me to do this video once again. We are on to the next. You don't want to take it from us, take it from your founding fathers.